All right.
Discussion.
Very good. Again, I think it's important that we read the resolution. It is in the board packet, but recognizing the contribution of these coaches as well. So whereas Board Policy 7250, commemoration and naming of school facilities, authorizes the Board of Education to name district facilities for individuals who have made significant contributions to education or to the well-being of the district, community, state, or nation, establishes the process by which recommendations are presented to the board for discussion and action, and reserves final naming authority to the board. Whereas Coach Jim Brandt served Grand Ledge High School from 1969 to 1997 and built a standard of excellence in cross country and track, including 66 consecutive dual meet victories, 11 CAAC championships in 12 years, 3 regional championships, multiple all-state and all-region athletes, and significant honors such as Lansing State Journal Coach of the Year in 1994, MITCA Class A Coach of the Year nomination in 1996, the Eddie Award for contributions to track and field, and induction into the GLHS Hall of Fame in 2004, and the Greater Lansing Sports Hall of Fame in 2022. He founded the Greater Lansing Cross Country Championship, an event and legacy that endures to this day. His steady leadership, high expectations, and mentorship strengthened GLPS athletics and inspired generations of student athletes and coaches across mid-Michigan. Whereas Coach Kim Spalsbury, a Grand Ledge alumnus and collegiate runner, returned to mid-Michigan and over more than 3 decades led programs to statewide prominence, including 4 girls track and field state championships, plus 4 runner-up state runner-up finishes, 5 combined cross-country state championships, plus 5 runner-up finishes, dozens of league and regional titles, and later guided the Grand Ledge High School boys track and field team to a 76-13 record with 4 league and 2 regional championships. He co-founded and ran the Grand Ledge Summer Track Program for 25 years. His leadership has been recognized with 10 MITCA Coach of the Year awards, the Eddie Award in 1996, an induction into the Michigan High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2010, the Greater Lansing Sports Hall of Fame in 2015, and the GLHS Athletic Hall of Fame in 2024. Whereas beyond their achievements as coaches, both Jim Brandt and Kim Spalsbury served for many years as classroom teachers at Grand Ledge High School, promoting academic learning and investing daily in students' growth, character, and citizenship, thereby advancing the core mission of Grand Ledge Public Schools. Whereas together, Jim Brandt and Kim Spalsbury exemplify the very qualities contemplated by Board Policy 7250, significant enduring contributions to education and to the well-being of Grand Ledge Public Schools and the broader community by cultivating disciplined teams, mentoring future coaches and leaders, and elevating track and field and cross country across mid-Michigan. Whereas consistent with the format and tradition of board resolutions, the board recognizes that commemorations serve as living tributes that educate current and future students about exemplary service and achievement. Now therefore be it resolved that the Grand Ledge Public Schools Board of Education, acting under the authority and procedures set forth in Policy 7250, commemoration and naming of school facilities, hereby names the Grand Ledge High School track and field venue, the Brandt-Spalsbury Track and Field Complex, in honor and grateful recognition of Jim Brandt and Kim Spalsbury for their decades of leadership, competitive excellence, character development, and profound positive impact on GLPS student athletes and the Grand Ledge community. Be it further resolved that the superintendent is directed to implement appropriate signage, maps, and digital references to reflect the official name, and ensure this action is recorded in district records and communicated across district platforms and athletic publications. So that is our resolution for the Brandt-Spalsbury Track Complex. And although I did not run track, I know the impact that these gentlemen had. And as a special aside, Mr. Brandt was also my AP calculus teacher. So I appreciate that as well. So that is the resolution for the Brandt-Spalsbury Track and Field Complex.
Thank you. Any additional comments on the part of the board? I would just like to say I've had the opportunity to get to know both Jim and Kim, and they are a dynamic duo, and it just pleases me that we have had the community pulled together enough to recognize the wonderful accomplishments that they have dedicated, that they have achieved by dedicating their time and efforts to our community of learners and athletes for so many years. So, hearing no further comments from the part of the board, we will go ahead and call for the vote. Dr. Barnes.
I do want to point out too, I'm sorry, I should have said this in the discussion, that Coach Brandt could not be here this evening, but I do want to just point out that he is very appreciative of the consideration.
Thank you.
Mr. Oppenheim,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Dr. Glasgow,
Yes.
Ms. Shannon,
Yes.
Ms. Kirkendall.
Yes.
President Dufort.
Yes.
And Mr. Holmes.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Thank you.
So, if you live in the world of coaches and they give you a lineup, one of the places you don't want to be is behind the legend. Quick comment about Coach O'Keefe, who was my social studies teacher at Grand Ledge High School back in the day. So that was my first exposure to him, other than walking the halls and everybody knew who Coach O'Keefe was. Even as a little tiny freshman, oh, that's Coach O'Keefe. When I graduated from college, I'd already been involved with running the summer track program for 4 years at that point, or starting my fourth year, the spring, I graduated. And I remember coming back to sub toward the end of the school year. And I went into the teacher's lounge, and Coach O'Keefe said, "Hey, Coach." I was like, wow. I mean, I'm not really even a coach yet. I'm working with a summer program. But I came to understand that for Coach O'Keefe, that was the ultimate compliment to one of his peers. And I thank him for continuing to call me coach to this day. And he is the ultimate example of greatness in all aspects of what a coach does. Character development, skill development, community involvement, the whole gamut of what a coach can do when they do it well. And he's done that certainly for my entire lifetime and beyond. My family moved here when I was in second grade. We were the Cubs, by the way, at Delta Center when I went there. I had maybe my best two mentors were my parents. My father, Joe, had an incredible work ethic, worked 2 jobs, 16 hours a day to provide for his family. And it didn't take me long to figure out that hard work was pretty important. My mom's 89 years young. She's right there. She's an amazing woman. And to be a good educator, you have to think of the entire person, whether it's in the classroom or on the field of competition. And Mom never really did that overtly. It was just obvious by the way she conducted herself that she was concerned about the person, all aspects of the person. And that became something that I just naturally adapted. So thank you, Mom. I'm lucky enough to have, and I told Kim, well, I didn't know about this until Thursday. I mean, I knew about the process. I didn't know this was happening until Thursday. I said, I don't think I can have any family members there. And there's my family. 2 rows. Thank you. That's how it's always been. So it makes this naming even more memorable. Dad's not around anymore. As several of you on the board know, Kathy and I lost my son Josh 18 years ago now. But in some way, having that name up there, we'll be honoring them as well. But none of that happens without Jim Brandt. Jim Brandt was my freshman algebra teacher. I had never run track, nor did I know what it really was, right? I played baseball very badly, but I played baseball. That's what I had done growing up, right? But I had Coach Brandt as my algebra teacher. And we had to run the mile in gym class. I was a scrawny little guy. And back then, gym class was graded on performance, the effort thing. Oh, no, what did you do, right? And I was so weak. I was a B, A student in every other class, but a B student in gym, and I understood it, right? I mean, I wasn't as big, tall, fast, or anything as anybody else, but I could run. And we had the mile test, and I thought, I'm going all out. The cinder track, for those of you who aren't old enough to know that, was around the football field as it exists now. There was a cinder track around it. I didn't have any running shoes. What I did have is a reasonable assumption that if my feet were lighter, I would be faster. I ran the mile run in my socks, no shoes, on a cinder track. I got an A. And Coach Brandt was smart enough after he knew the testing had been done to take a minute at the end of class one day and say, how many people ran 7 minutes or better? I proudly put my hand up there, and he worked his way down until he got to 6:05. I ran 6:03. Nobody else has their hand up. It's just me. Wow, I found something I'm kind of good at. And then he asked me if I would stay and talk to him for a minute, and he convinced me to come out for track and field. And as one of my favorite poets, Robert Frost, said, and that has made all the difference. My life changed drastically for the better from that one moment. My life was not bad, but what would it have been without all of the wonderful experiences that I've had in track and field that all started with that moment in the classroom? And Coach Brandt and I have talked, knowing this was coming up, and shared some communication, both text and actual phone calls. The wonderful part of this for both of us is I became part of that program, and everybody thinks of track and field as an individual sport, and on some level it is. But when it becomes special is when it becomes a team sport. And from the beginning, that is what Coach Chapman and Coach Brandt taught at Grand Ledge High School. That you were part of a team, and to make you feel like you were an important piece of our team goals. And that was easy for me when my time came to become a coach after I graduated from Hope College in 1977. That's the way I was going to do it, because that worked, and it was fun, and it was memorable. And to this day, my best friends from my high school senior year are still my best friends. That's the legacy of Coach Brandt. He made that happen for us, and I like to think here and there, maybe I've made a contribution similar to that. I'm going to wrap it up, because if I go longer than Coach O'Keefe, I'm in trouble. Thank you very much to the community members who are a part of the committee. Thank you very much to Greg and Fred for their very kind words. It is still a joy to be a part of our programs, and I have been a Grand Ledge person since I was 7 years old. Maybe it doesn't make me a lifer, but I'm darn close. I've been a Grand Ledge person for over 60 years, and that's how, when they carry me out, I'll still be a Grand Ledge person. I'll bleed blue and gold, not maize, blue and gold, until the day I die. Thank you so much for this honor. I deeply appreciate it.